Hey friends, just wanted to reach out and give a little update. I haven't done a video in a while. When I kicked this conversation thing off, I was doing like one a day for a week there. Really, honestly, I'm just super busy in my life right now. I've got a pretty big family, and it requires a lot to keep up with that. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been serving clients through work, and with whatever time I have left, I've been trying to be worth a damn for my people. So if you were kind of getting excited about the conversation and you've been waiting for another video, I don't suppose that's probably anyone, but if that's you, just know that I have not abandoned this project. The conversation, as I've explained in some places, I don't know that it's entirely breaking through and that everybody's hearing it, so I'll say it again here, is not entirely just a YouTube thing that I was doing. It's really more of a process that I'm undertaking where I'm trying to have a very real and sustained, continuing connection to reality. And that's what the conversation really is. It's paying attention to life as it is at hand, not as it is through some projection of story, through some understanding or hoping or setting of expectations for the world or for my life beyond my fingertips, in a way. And so I've still very much been participating in what I'm calling this conversation, even though I'm not necessarily making videos. I'm doing it every day of my life right now. And so that's really a part of the reason why, in some ironic way, I haven't been making some videos, because I've got too many other real things that need my real attention right now. And so videos during this little season aren't a part of what I can do to honor the conversation. They would be, in fact, kind of the antithesis. The only reason I'm making this one is because I'm sitting in the car while a family member is at a medical appointment. So I'm sort of like, I have to wait and not do another thing anyway. So this is what I'm doing this video for. But I just wanted to let you know I'm out here and I'm doing okay, in case any of you are wondering. I would also say, this is just, there's no production here, but I've seen quite a few people lately who I think have important things to say, and I think that because I've heard them say them, or I've read their words or whatever. I've seen quite a few people in the light of changes to social media platforms, like, for example, the removal of fact checkers and this kind of stuff on Facebook. There's been at least the announcing on the part of a lot of people that they're going to leave the platform. This happened with X, Twitter. This is a thing that happens, is that when serious, meaningful, significant, I would say less than great changes start to happen in places like these, either as a matter of protest or a matter of self-protection, self-preservation, I do see lots of people signaling that, hey, I'm going to be out of here. And of course, I would always say prioritize one's own mental health, one's own spiritual health, one's own life over everything, including staying in touch with people on social media. But I do want to at least put this out there and say that in some strange way, and I don't even know that I fully agree with this thought, but this is a thought that popped into my head. I pictured a soldier standing on a battlefield, fighting the good fight, so to speak, and suddenly realizing that when the battle gets a little different, or when the battle gets a little harder, they start looking around and seeing their fellow soldiers just leaving and just saying, this battle's not for me. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore, and just walking off the field. Battle's not a great metaphor here. Like I said, this isn't produced, but the idea of, I see a lot of good people with important and meaningful things to say, things that I believe others need to hear or read. I see them saying, I'm not going to do this in these places. I'm going to go to these other places. And in many cases, you're going to places that have a paywall, like a Substack, where you have to subscribe and, pay some money to read the things. this is an increasing problem that I'm finding in our world, which actually I think a lot of people are responding this way. They feel it's an attempt to not participate in the problem, but to be part of a solution. And I think there's an argument to be made for that, for sure. But in the same way that you can look at any major publication that say, pick a publication that you think is doing good work. One that I like from time to time, I'll see things like from The Atlantic. There are certain newspapers or journalistic organizations that are putting out content that you'll see an article that feels very important and you want to read it, and you'll click through and there's a paywall and you can't read the article because you have to subscribe and pay. I know authors who are doing this. I know friends who are doing this. They're parking their meaningful things, meaningful words, meaningful ideas behind paywalls. Here's the thing, even if the paywall is $1 a month, even if it's $5 a month or whatever, how many people are paying for information, really? And how many people who need the information that you're sharing are paying for information? Meanwhile, all of the lies, the deceit, the misinformation, the upending of reality is as free as it can be. It's not even just free, it's being fueled by advertisers, and it's being pushed into the world. And so it's really no wonder why you see people who you thought were otherwise grounded in reality losing their grip from reality. Not everybody has the exact same cognitive capacity to sort through information, to weed through, is this true? Is this a lie? I fail at that often. It's a hard thing to do. And there are some people in the world, and there's, I would say, probably a lot of people out there who don't even try. It doesn't even maybe even occur to them that they ought to be working hard to find truth. That there is a belief that if all information is available, truth will rise to the top. And that is not true, unfortunately, because the information is actually being funded and fueled and pushed by advertising and by algorithms, and it is tuned in to push for engagement, which tends to tune into the part of the human psyche that seeks out conflict or rage or things like that. And so inevitably what I see happening when good people leave these kind of public spaces, even if they're not leaving in the sense that they're no longer going to communicate at all, but they just decide, I'm going to put my communication over here only. And then it gets, even if it's not behind a paywall sometimes, it's like, I don't ever just stumble across a Substack article online. It just doesn't really happen. I might get one in my feed here and there because they've stayed on social media as well and they're sharing their posts. That's the only way I'll even know a Substack. You could say, well, you subscribe and you get email. Have you seen my email inbox? Like, it's also, there's this cancer in the information space that makes it so difficult. I don't half the time know when I get emails that I'm looking for. Sometimes, I'll be texting somebody to say, did you send me that email? And I'll stop and I'll go, you need to go do a search in your email and search their name and see, holy crap, they sent that to me 3 weeks ago or whatever. It's an inundating experience in this information age where I think from exasperation, I think from protest, I think from anger, I think for all these reasons I see the best, and quite frankly, it's for survivability. Like in the case of these news organizations, what are they supposed to just give you free news? It's an actual real problem that may not have a real solution. But down at the level of the individual speakers, creators, I would call them in a way prophets, the voices crying in the wilderness. When the voices who are crying in the wilderness are leaving the wilderness, you have to know that the other souls, the other minds that exist in the wilderness are now going to be even more deprived and very likely become even more depraved. And so this is maybe, I actually wasn't even thinking of talking about this. The thing is that I'm not making videos because I don't have anything to say. It is because I'm busy. Because here, I didn't even think I was going to say that, but now I've said that. I just want to encourage those of you who are out there who see this, who have things to say that feel really important, who have decided that you're going to, for whatever reason, withdraw your voice from the public space, from the larger open sort of town square that social media really is, whether we like the way it looks or behaves or performs or any of that or not. It is that thing. When you remove yourself, just please take the time to really think about what you're doing in terms of, if you don't care about whether you are providing anything useful or good for your fellow humans, in terms of if you don't think that your ideas are particularly helpful, that they really are needed, and you just want to get out, for whatever reasons you want to get out, that's one thing. But if you actually think of yourself as somebody who's trying to help and trying to say things and trying to be a part of a conversation that is important to be had, I'm begging you to reconsider an exodus from these social spaces. I too have thought about it many, 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 many times. I don't make a nickel I don't make a penny. I make no money off of being in these places, and I endure a good bit of grief. I have had to find ways to carve out space. I've had to be on it less. I haven't still watched the news since the election. Like I am in my own way doing things. So it's not about don't do things, don't protect yourself, don't retool or rearrange or reconfigure how you are online. It's not that. I just want to, I trust that so many of you are so wise anyway that you're already doing this. But sometimes the number of times I'm seeing people saying, I'm out of here, makes me go, is every one of these folks thinking that through? We need nutritional information to be free and easily accessible. We need to be able to stumble upon protein, ideological vitamins and minerals. We need to be able to accidentally encounter these things. And if those things get pulled, if people who are providing that kind of nutrition are removing themselves, I just hope they can think about if that's the entirely right move. So, who am I? What do I know? I can only do me. So this is just me pontificating about this idea. But I'd be interested in your thoughts on that. So I guess leave some comments. I'm going to put this on YouTube, but I might straight upload this to Facebook too, because YouTube doesn't get pushed in the way that I wish it would on Facebook. And when you put a video in Facebook's little thing and say, here, Facebook, here's a fresh video just for you, it'll be like, ooh, video, and it'll share it. I mean, this is all part of the maddening chaos of being in these social spaces. And yet I persist. So thanks for your patience. You're still probably not going to hear a lot from me for a while. I've got some big projects that I'm trying to land, and of course a big family. And I'm trying to stay connected to reality through all of that. So I appreciate all of you who are, quote unquote, fighting the good fight. I definitely don't want to be found on the field alone. So, yeah, whatever. I don't love the way I just said that, but there's nothing I can do about it now because I'm not going to edit this. Peace. Have a great day.